Hello subscribers, this is yours truly JBlue68 coming to you with my next comic book haul video. Today being August the 20th, we're nearing the end of the month and the end of the summer. That doesn't bother me. I've had a pretty good summer so far. And before we get into this comic book haul video, I want to say thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, for liking, sharing, and commenting. Please continue to do so. And tap the notification bell so you can get more videos like this as I post them immediately. We're going to start off with a book I'm very excited to present to you all. It's actually part of the independent comic book line, which I'm actually going to present at the end of this video, but I thought I would put this one first for very specific and special reasons. This book is published by Stranger Comics, and this was sent to me by a gentleman who I've mentioned before in my comic book haul videos, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Sebastian A. Jones. Very, very cool guy, very, very dedicated comic book writer. I've loved what he's done with his books thus far. I've been following him for years now. I've mentioned before in previous videos, he's the creator of the World of Asunda. And again, the CEO or CEO and creator and founder of Stranger Comics. This book was sent to me by him. It's actually a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. What else can I say? It actually was this particular character, though. Jason Wise is the name of the book. This is Jason Wise #1. It was a San Diego Comic Con exclusive, created by gentleman by the name of Urias, and co-authored by Sebastian A. Jones. And make sure I get that right. This is actually authored by Sebastian. He usually autographs all of my books. The artwork is by Alex Patterson, Paris, Aline, I believe, and Daryl May, if I'm correct. The synopsis of the story basically is, well, let me show you the book first. Let me show you the book. Let me take it out of the plastic. And then we can give an explanation of the synopsis of the story. But just to show you, as I mentioned, this is a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. As you can see right there. And there's the back of the book. All right. And this is, I guess, I want to say a prototype. Let's put a little bit more light on here. There we go. See that a lot bit better now. This is mainly just black and white pencils and ink. The colored version or color version of the comic book will be coming out, I believe, this month or next month, as part of the Kickstarter, their Kickstarter initiative. But the synopsis of the story is basically thousands of artifacts, mainly of African origin, are scattered throughout the world in museums and private art with private art collectors, basically stolen from their places of origin. One man, Jason Wise, is on a mission to retrieve and liberate these artifacts. It basically has a similar vibe to Eyes of Wakanda, which is out on Disney Plus now, in terms of the synopsis of the story. And again, these are the black and white penciled version. This is the black and white pencil version of their Kickstarter initiative for this story before the actual official release. And this right here takes place, it looks like, in Moro, Sudan, around 1947. Wow. June 1947. Around the time that my mother was born. Interesting. So just want to show you this, this book. And I definitely encourage you to support Stranger Comics. It's Black owned. And again, the stories that come out of Stranger Comics are, in my opinion, top notch. So I'm glad to support Stranger Comics. All right. Next up, we're going to get into one of the big twos, and that being DC Comics. And you see this magazine-sized foil edition of Superman. It's very foily, so it's kind of glimmers in the camera there. This is the foil facsimile, magazine size of, as you see in front of you, Superman. Written by, the writer is, I believe, Jerome Siegel and Joe Shuster. Interestingly, though, too, the inside of the book is basically made made like the old style comic books, or printed like the old style comic books from the Golden Age. Was actually on paper. Paper print. I'm going to be really careful on how I handle this. I don't want to open it up because, again, the pages are actually made out of paper. But look at that, very foily, very foily. And then right here, I like that. That's actually the symbol or the emblem that they use in the DCU now for the DC, both the DC movies and television shows. That is really cool. Love that. Again, and I've said before, and I say again, DC has been killing it with their foil editions. I just ordered for some new DC comics. That will be in my next comic book haul. But they've been killing it for the last 2 years, man, with their foil prints, in my opinion. But yeah, so it's 64 pages of action, all in full color. The complete story of the daring exploits of the one and only Superman. All right, and the movie actually by James Gunn is actually on digital now. I'll keep my mouth shut about that. We're still into the world of Superman. Summer of Superman. This is Superman Unlimited. Man of Steel, World of Kryptonite. This is actually issue number 2. I actually have issues number 2 and 3. I enjoyed the first issue. I thought it was very well done. It's written by Dan Slott. The artist is Raphael Albuquerque. The colorist is Marcelo Maiolo. Great interior artwork on both books, actually. And as I said, here's issue number 2. Well, that's issue number 1 there. Again, which I said I enjoyed very much. So it's issue number 2. Let's see here. Straighten that out. So issue number 2. And here is issue number 3. The Towering Terror of Toyman. And a very good boy. His dog Crypto there. Again, written by Dan Slott. Artwork by Raphael Albuquerque. And then again, as I aforementioned, these foil prints, these magnificent foil prints that DC has been doing. This is, what is this? This is Hush Chapter 4, book number 4 by Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. Outstanding cover there. Outstanding cover. Book number 4 of that series. All right. Then next up we have Absolute Batman issue number 10. Issue number 11 actually hits shelves today. But as always, again, I'm backed up on my comic books, so it's a matter of money and time. Because along with buying the books, you got to read them too, right? So this is a writer written by Scott Snyder, and Nick Dragotta is the artist. Colorist is Frank Martin. Subtitle Abomination, which deals with the character of Bane. All right. So yes, issue number 10, and again issue number 11 came out today. Today again being August the 20th, Wednesday. So that's it for DC Comics and this Stranger comic, a book you see in front of you. Next up, we're going to get into, get them out here, Marvel Comics. All right, so we have Marvel Comics. The what is this? This is going to be Marvel Previews, which is pretty much free at any of your LCSs or local comic book stores. But I always say when you go into your comic book shops, make sure you make a purchase, even if it's just one or maybe two or three comic books. Make a purchase there. Don't just go there and just grab freebies and walk out the door. They're small businesses and they need your support. I'm sorry if this camera is going, light seems to be going in and out. I apologize about that. Let's put a little bit more light on there. But yes, so this basically is highlighting the new X-Men story that's supposed to be a big deal in the Marvel Universe, Age of Revelation Overture #1, which will be written by Jed MacKay, and one of my favorite artists who I've met a couple of times over the past few years, Mr. Ryan Stegman. So it's a reinvention, of course, of the Marvel characters, Marvel X-Men characters, I should say. And on the back here, we have Age of Revelation issue #0. It begins here. Okay. All right, so it'll be interesting to find out what that's about once I get a chance to read this. And then next up, we have a variant edition of the Marvel Swimsuit Special. I missed the main release of the main cover of this particular story. That's what I'm trying to say, of this particular book. So I had to end up with the Marvel Swimsuit Special variant edition, which is cool. Has Johnny Storm and Wanda Maximoff on the cover. This is Friends, Foes, and Rivals, and it has various layouts inside the book, but my favorite layout in here is of She-Hulk. I want to show you that really quick if I can. I think she has the sexiest layout of all the swimsuit ladies in this edition. Let's see. We can get that out there without doing any damage to the cover. I just want to show you really quick. Her layout, the regular pages and panels are okay. I think that's really nice too right there. But the actual swimsuit layouts are done in very, very nice fashion. There she is. On that side, there's Luke Cage and Luke Cage and Iron Fist, but this one right here, I really like that a lot. I think, to me, in my opinion, She-Hulk is one of the sexiest female characters in Marvel Comics. I absolutely love the character. So I like the series too. That is on Disney Plus. Played by the lovely actress Tatiana Maslany, who has a new movie coming out, a creepy movie. I can't remember the name of the movie. I've seen the trailer on YouTube. But okay, anyway. So let's move along here. Get into this next book. It's a very popular series and doing very well. Has received a lot of rave reviews in the comic book community. This is Storm issue #10. And this is actually the beginning of the Thunder War. Issue #11 actually was released today, I believe. Today? No, it was released last week. The beginning of the Thunder War. Yes, so the continued adventures of Aurora Monroe. This is written by, let's see if I can get this name, if I can pronounce his name correctly. Muriwa Ayodele. I have a hard time pronouncing their first name. The artist is Lucas Warnock, and the color artist is Alex Guineros, I believe. It's very good interior art. Very good story. If you haven't been reading, I highly encourage you to do that. Yes, so Storm, issue #10, The Thunder War begins. And then another cover that I praised very much, Emma Frost, The White Queen, issue #2. I actually previewed this cover in I think it was my last comic book haul that I did. This is White Queen, the White Queen #2. As I said, another very sexy cover of her. This is written by Amy Chu. Artist is Andrea DeVito. The color artist is Antonio Fiolela. And again, I'll say with this book too, very good interior artwork on the inside. Okay. Wow, that looks really nice. Love that. Reminds me of J. Scott Campbell, his artwork and what he does. There's a similarity in their art style. All right. Next up, we have another book series that I've been enjoying very much, and I'm up to date on my reading with this book series. With this series, I would like to say One World Under Doom, number 6, which is written by Mr. Ryan North, who was also an attendee at San Diego Comic-Con. Artist is R.B. Silva, and the color artist is David Curiel. I've enjoyed this series very much. I haven't read this book yet, but again, I am up to date on it. And it looks like Mr. Fantastic is experiencing some very excruciating pain as he's being stretched out, like he was in the movie with Galactus, in this case by Dr. Doom. All right? So One World Under Doom, number 6. I haven't collected the spin-off books that have come out of this series. I'm only interested in collecting the main title itself at this time. And then we get into another exciting series. Black Panther issue number 18, and as we speak, number 19 just was released today, being August the 20th. As you all may know, if you watch my comic book haul videos, I'm usually always behind on my comic books. It's all good, but we will catch up on the Black Panther series very, very soon. All right, and yeah. That's a cool cover there. Looks like Black Panther is in some severe pain. Now, this book here. Wow. There's a lot to say and a lot to unpack with this book. This is issue number 3, the final issue of Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell. This is issue number 3. Written by Charles Soule and Steve McNiven. Artwork by Steve McNiven. Color art by Dean White. They kept this comic book series short and sweet. And man, bruh, it really ends in a, how can I say this? It's a beautiful story of tragedy, loss, and limbs. Literally loss of limbs in this story. I meant to mention too. I'm sorry, with Black Panther. Let's bring this back up here for a minute. It was written by Brian Hill and Stefano Caselli. The color artist is David Curiel, who also worked on the other book I just showed you. Okay, all right. Back to Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell. This may end up being probably, how can I say this? Either my Marvel comic book pick of the year or of the month. I don't know, but probably pick of the year. Again, the book is very tragic. It's very dark, very foreboding, but it has an ending that basically has a dark hope to it, so to speak. We actually see the deaths of 3 main characters in this book. I really don't want to give it away. But it features two specific, very popular heroes. That's Steve Rogers and Frank Castle, the Punisher. I don't want to say what happens to them and how it happens, but I encourage you to read this book. Again, it's only 3 issues, so it wouldn't take you long to read. It's a very exciting book. It's not boring in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So I encourage you to read it. Definitely add it to your collection. But again, this may end up being my comic book pick of the year. We will see. All right. Moving right along. Next up, we get into the King of All Monsters. Godzilla destroys the Marvel Universe. And I want to show you something. One of the reasons why I buy comic books, as I say, the actual printed copies versus just digital comic books. I mean, of course, you got to do what you can because of, space and all that, and I get that. But check this out, man. This is This book has been out for some time now, but I'm just now getting my hands on it. Look at that fold-out cover. That is really, really neat. I'm sorry if you hear any noise in the background. There's a lot of loud kids out playing or whatever late at night when they actually should probably be inside or indoors. But anyway, I digress. I'm not a parent, so I don't know. Okay, anyway, let's move along here. So yeah, dig that cover there. It's issue number 1, and issue number 2 of this book, once again, came out today being August the 20th. Okay, Godzilla, the stories, the Marvel Universe. This is written by Gerry Duggan. Duggan. All right, really dig that there. So very cool. And again, one of the many reasons, aside from reading the comic books versus flipping comic books and trying to always get comics books CGC'd so you can find out what their value is, read the book. Read the book, and enjoy the stories as opposed to just trying to get change, off of the books themselves. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but in the same token, to me, that's not the reason to buy or to be into comic books. All right, so that's it for Marvel. Let's move into our independent comic books. And we actually continue with Godzilla. And this is IDW. Godzilla, written by Tim Seeley, I believe it is. Again, for IDW. It's a new series. The art is by someone, I'm not even I'm going to try to pronounce the last name, but Nicola Sizmizia. Colors are by Francesco Sigala. And I really like that cover, cover there, because as I have the light on the book, it looks like Godzilla's tail fins are actually glowing. I'm almost wondering if you put a black light to the book, if the fins actually would glow. But I have a regular light on it, and the fins are actually glowing, man. That's really cool, and I love the Japanese lettering on here. It reminds me of the Toho company emblems that they use for the Godzilla movies. So that's really very cool. Love that cover there. Okay. What's on the back here? Or there's another Godzilla book that came out during Free Comic Book Day. But nothing had to do with this story. And then next up we get into continuing the MonsterVerse stories. This is issue number 4 from IDW, Mothra, Queen of the Monsters. This is written by Stephanie Campbell, artwork by Mark Frank, colors by Roberto Rivero Padro and Matt Frank. And again, issue number 5, I believe the final issue of this series came out today. Again, today being August the 20th. All right. Beautiful cover, beautiful cover. And then next up, this is actually the wrong issue because we showed this issue in the previous comic book haul. Here's issue number 2 of Be Not Afraid from Boom Studios. Actually, very creepy book here. Issue number 1 was very creepy. I can't wait to read issue number 2. It's written by Jude Ellison S. Doyle. That's a long and lengthy name. Illustrated by Lisandro Etheran. Colored by Francesco Sigala. The same person who worked on the Godzilla book that I just showed you. With assistance by Gloria Martinelli. It's a very dark, creepy. It's very dark, creepy storytelling. Something actually that should probably be released around October, around Halloween. But I think this book will probably extend out into that time because again, this is issue number 2. I'm not sure how many issues will be featured in this particular series. But yeah, it's a great addition to horror comics if you're a horror comic reader, which I didn't used to be, but it was about probably 5 or 7 years ago I started getting into horror comics, and glad that I have and no regrets doing so. All right. Let's move along here. Next up, we get into issue number 16 from Dynamite Comics, Thundercats by Declan Shalvey, and artwork by Drew Moss. This is cardstock comic. The interior arts for Thundercats has not been that impressive to me, but the cover art is absolutely amazing. And as I said, most of the cover art for this particular book can actually be used as posters to put on your wall, to canvas on your wall, if they did such a thing. And I would love to see this as a short box, graphic short box. The only comic book company that seems to do short boxes is Marvel. I don't know why DC doesn't do their own, and Boom has done one before, and so has IDW, but they don't do them as frequently as Marvel does. And next we get into the Terminator issue number 7. I believe issue number 10 is out. I'm actually missing 2 issues from this series. This again is by Declan Shalvey, the guy who's the writer of Thundercats. And the subtitle is El Camino. The artwork is by Joel Mulvey, and the colorist is Colin Cracker. As I said, the interiors are not that impressive. I'm not that impressed by the interiors, but I love the cover. Here's issue number 9 of that series. And again, issue number 10 is out today. Oh, that looks very creepy. Like his face is all melted. That's the Terminator. And I guess that's his human exterior melting off from some type of battle or fight that he or she was in. Then we get into Battle Beast, issue number 1. I've heard a lot about this book. I thought I would try it out, read it to see what the big deal is. This comes from the Invincible universe, which is a universe created by Mr. Robert Kirkman. By Mr. Robert Kirkman. And what I want to say about this book, this is from Image Comics, and Mr. Robert Kirkman, who's also the writer of and creator of The Walking Dead and Firepower, which was also a very good comic book that came out a couple of years back. This is cardstock as well. I'm going to try it out to see if it's all that a lot of people have been raving about the character. And if so, I'll go ahead and continue reading the series. I do know that issue number 4 also came out today being August the 20th. This is written again by Mr. Robert Kirkman with the stories the artist is Ryan Ottley, I believe, along with Annalisa Leone, as it says on the cover there. So, yep. So, Battle Beast number 1. Now we're going to get into the Spawn, the Spawn universe, Todd McFarlane universe of books, starting with, we have here, this is Bloodletter issue number, that's issue number 1. Let's see, Bloodletter number 2 is on the back here. There we go. Yes, issue number 2. I haven't read issue number 1 yet. I was waiting for issue number 2 to come out. Issue number 3 is out today, by the way. So, yep. I think this will be this is going to be a mini series, only 5 issues if I'm correct. And then we have King Spawn, which was written by Rory McConneville. Artwork is by let me make sure I pronounce this name correctly. Yildiray Cinar, I believe. Colors are by Ivan Nunes. Has fantastic interior art and panels. Maybe I can show you that really quick. Let's see. And this is always cardstock. And the price, I believe, of the Spawn books is going up slightly. Yeah, $3.99. Used to be $2.99. But look at that. Now the colors pop off the page there. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that, man. Wow. Fantastic. Amazing. Beautiful. Violent, but beautiful. All right, let's get this back inside the bag and board without causing any damage. And then we have, this one isn't in a bag and board. This is the main title, Spawn, Hell Hath Risen. This is issue number 366, part four of the story Hell Hath Risen, and that's a gorgeous cover there. Story is by Todd McFarlane, artwork by Brett Booth, and of course he never misses with his artwork. You can show that too really quick. Just absolutely gorgeous artwork, man. This is, look at this spread page here. This is reason why, again, I buy comic books, man. Good stories and beautiful artwork. Very nice there. Very nice. And there's a preview of the next book that should be out today, I believe. Then we have Gunslinger, issue number 45, from the Todd McFarlane universe, or Spawn universe. Stories by Todd McFarlane, artwork by Carlo Barberi. Colors are by Ivan Nunes. Again, absolutely beautiful interiors and artwork. We'll show some of those too, if you don't mind. Okay. Dig that. And again, the colors just pop right off of the pages there. Lovely. Lovely. Let's see. Look at that. Look at that spread page there. Lovely indeed. Lovely indeed. And continuing in the Spawn universe, we have Salmon Twitch. This is issue number 16. Cardstock, written by Jordan Burrell and Todd McFarlane. The artwork is by Thomas Nachlik. The interiors are incredible, but they're too bloody and brutal for me to show you. So we're going to keep this closed. It's continued adventures of our favorite, not so dynamic, crime-stopping investigative team of the Spawn universe. So that's it. That's all, everyone. I hope that you've enjoyed this comic book haul. We're back to Godzilla again in our independent books. So, again, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so that you get more videos like this as I post them immediately. Thank you all for joining me. Read a comic book and have a good comic book happy Wednesday. Peace, love, and hair grease.